Yo, what's up guys, I'm Mezogvi, and today I'll be reviewing the all-new 2025 Jurassic World Rebirth Spinosaurus. So yeah, as you can see, the brand new Jurassic World Rebirth figures are finally out. Since the movie isn't out yet by the time making this video, I can't really do too much comparisons to the movie, so I apologize if I get something wrong when making this video, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do my best. So looking at the packaging, I apologize for the packaging being torn up. Unfortunately, Mattel for some reason glued this whole front part down. That way when you take out the side and have to take out the feet of the figure, you have to obviously tear it off instead of just having it fold down, so expect the packaging to get ripped when opening this figure. So of course this is brand new packaging for a brand new line. So of course you got the Jurassic World Rebirth logo with a red stripe going from the bottom corner all the way to the top. I'm pretty sure this is inspired off of the boat that appears in the movie. Like I said, I'm not too sure, but of course you got the red stripe with a black stripe, and after that you have a scenic view of the island that's going to be in the movie. Looking at the side of the box, as you can see, it has the Jurassic World Rebirth logo with all black. On the back of the box, you can see a digital render of the Spinosaurus figure. I apologize for the light, it's kind of in the way, but as you see, it basically says press 3 times on the back of the sail for the whole motion feature. And of course you also got the scan code. You got Jurassic World Rebirth with a red black striping. On the other side you got some more diagrams how it works with the fact that it can give out sound. And of course you have a plug-in for the Mosasaurus figure. And of course, as for the other side of the box, you got another Jurassic World Rebirth logo, but in all red. So yeah, that is it for the packaging. Pretty nice packaging. Not really much else to say about it, so let's move on to the figure. Alright, so by the time we're recording this video, the movie hasn't came out yet, so it's kind of hard to tell how accurate this figure is. However, from what we've seen so far, I do know for a fact that they made this figure way too dark brown. The Spinosaurus in the movie, I think all 4 of them are the same shade of brown. They're like a kind of like a sand color, like almost like a tan, I guess. I don't know. But this one, obviously, they just made really brown, like just way too brown. And something funny to note is that the smaller Spinosaurus that they released in the same line has a much brighter brown. I don't think it's exactly tan like the ones in the movie, but it's also a different shade, so that's a little inconsistent for my liking, but it's something I just want to point out. So as for this individual Spinosaurus, I'm not entirely for sure if the head sculpt is correct. I don't know if each Spinosaurus has different head shapes or if they're all just the same but with different colors. Honestly, I don't know. But overall, looking at the head, it's not too bad. The sculpting is pretty nice. The teeth are actually a separate molded plastic. They're a lot more softer, and the base pigment is different from the rest of the mouth. Same thing with the inside of the mouth. Different piece of plastic, and it has a different pigmentation, so it has a much more cleaner look. It seems that Mattel is doing this a lot of their figures now, which I am like highly happy about because it makes them look so much better. Looking at the eye, it is like a yellow color with a round pupil. Like I said, I'm not for sure if that is accurate to the movie. For all we know, it could be a slit pupil like the previous Spinosaurus. Moving on down to the neck, as you can see, we have some yellow striping, and on the bottom of the neck you have some like really light brown airbrushing, which is pretty nice actually. Moving on down to the body, as you can see, the sculpting is not too bad. You got the pebbling in the skin is mainly just a dark brown color. Like I said, should be light brown, but you know, whatever. Looking up at the sail itself, it has some yellow striping. That I know for a fact is pretty accurate to one of the Spinosauruses in the movie, so that's pretty neat to see. Looking at the cell, as you can see, it is covered in actually, yeah, soft plastic spikes. Like I said, I don't know if that's in the movie, but that is pretty interesting to see. Moving on down to the arms, as you can see, it has pretty lanky looking arms. Something I do want to mention about these arms though, which is kind of unfortunate, is that they are completely made out of a more softer rubber material, which isn't bad, but the joint is also made out of a completely softer rubber material, which, I mean, it seems fine at first. Granted, it's a little stiff trying to move it because the soft plastic is rubbing against the hard plastic. But the thing though is, after a while, it's just not, as you can see, it wears out. Like, look, I just bought this figure and the joint is already wearing out. So don't expect these arms to last very long, because the joints are going to wear out soon. Moving on down to the legs, as you can see, you got some pebbling sculpting on the legs. That sounded weird, but whatever. Going on down to legs, as you can see with the toe claws, something interesting about Mattel that we all know is that they don't like to paint the claws. So their solution to this is to make a whole new piece of plastic with new pigmentation. I'm sorry, I can't speak today. It's really early in the morning. And that is how they're going to be painting their claws. As you can see, it's just funny because now they're just, as you can see, they're using pigmented plastic for everything that they don't want to paint now. That is genuinely funny to me. I mean, it looks clean, because normally when they paint these claws, there's always like paint over spray or under spray. But now, they're just adding whole new pieces of plastic. I mean, I'm not complaining, because it does make the figure look clean. I just find it funny. Looking down on the bottom of the foot, of course, you have the scan code. If you want to scan that, there you go, have fun. Alright, with the body out of the way, now we have the tail. This is probably the more controversial part of this figure. I mean, I get it, you know, people, I mean, honestly, it's not too bad. I know a lot of people complain because, like, just how odd it looks, how like cut up it is. I mean, I get it, it's for the play feature, so it's like in a slimming motion. But overall though, looking at the tail, of course you got some pebbling sculpting on the top. Interestingly enough, you also got some scale texturing in the midsection and scale texturing on the back. Not gonna lie, this is actually pretty decently sculpted for these bit right here, especially when compared to the body. The body is really flat and just very blended in with each other when it comes to sculpting. But the tail is really finely sculpted. I don't know what's going on with that, but they really put more effort into the tail than they did the body. That's actually really funny to me. I don't know why it's like that. But of course, looking at the tail, as you can see, there's no paint underneath at all. The only paint you have is just like dark brown pigment with this yellow striping on top. Really nice. Going down, of course, you also got the spikes that go almost all the way down to the tail, but then it stops midway. Moving on down to the tail, of course, it just repeats the same sculpting, and then you get to the base of the tail, which cancels out the scaling and just remains a pebbling texture. Also, something that's interesting is that the very tip of it has another piece that is a yellow pigmented plastic. And when looking at the other side, exactly the same sculpting. So now when it comes to the articulation of the figure, honestly, the articulation is it's kind of limiting. If anything, it's actually kind of disappointing. Of course, like I showed you with the arms can rotate and go in and out. Down to the legs, this part I kind of find weird because it's like, the Spinosaurus is known for swimming, right? Which, I mean, granted, I don't understand the whole point of having electronics. They should have just made this bare and hollow, but instead they added electronics. But like I said before, whatever, they're supposed to be swimming, right? And of course they gave leg joints, or yeah, they put joints on the legs to make it articulated. However, with the legs, that's your articulation. Yeah, that's it. There you go. Yeah, if you want to pose this figure differently, same thing with the other leg. Yeah, if you want to pose it, then, well, you either got this pose, or you got that pose. You know, you have it looking up just a little bit. And I don't think Spinosaurus could even look up in real life, but, you know, there's that. So, of course, with lack of articulation, that must mean that it has a really nice action feature, right? Well, of course, you got the button on the back of the sail. It's kind of awkward to press, not gonna lie. At least for me, it seems kind of awkward to press, but you basically push in this button 3 times. It's kind of hard to catch on camera, but that's this feature. It's on a motor, and its tail swings back and forth, and the head swings back and forth while it does a jumping motion. So there you go. I mean, I don't honestly. I mean, it's great for children. I mean, personally, I don't play with these figures, so I don't really have much to comment on it. But that's for the feature, and of course, it has different roars. What I'm assuming is from the movie. Now, I will admit, it is neat seeing the Spinosaurus having a different sound effect rather than the one in the third movie. However, I do find it funny how, honestly, it just sounds like a jaguar. I'm sorry, I don't know why, but it literally, I know it's the part on the movie. I know it has nothing to do with the figure, but I just find it funny how it literally, it just sounds like a jaguar. You cannot tell me that does not sound like, especially the last bit there. You cannot tell me that just sounds straight up like a jaguar and nothing else. I mean, at least the JP3 Spino's sound was original. Alright, but that was the Jurassic World Rebirth Spinosaurus figure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, please leave a like. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Also, I have some social media links down in the description below. Highly recommend you checking that out as I post really cool stuff there. But besides that, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.